Hello, welcome to application video 1-13. Just a reminder, our learning target today is that I can estimate and simplify radical expressions. Specifically, we're going to be looking at square roots. We got a riddle for you today in today's application. And that riddle is, what is special about the testing program at the Acme College of Cosmetics? To be able to solve this riddle, we're going to have to estimate some square roots and plot them on the number line so that we're going to be able to get an answer to the riddle. So let's just look at this first one here. A, the square root of 30. Now our instructions are that for each exercise we're to figure out which consecutive integers the square root lies between. Now just some vocabulary, consecutive integers means two integers that come right after another. So for example 3 and 4 would be consecutive integers, or -8, -7. And then once we find those two numbers that the square root is between, we're going to write the letter of the exercise on the number line between these two integers. So when we're looking at the square root of 30, what we're going to want to do is try and figure out what perfect square that number 30 is between. In other words, what two square numbers that are squared do we have that we know are perfect square roots that the 30 is the closest between? Now I know that 25 is a perfect square, and that's 5 times 5. And I know that 36 is a perfect square, which is 6 times 6. Now 30 is in between 25 and 36, so I'm going to know that my square root of 30 has to be some number in between 5 and 6. Now on this we don't have to figure out what that exact decimal is, we just need to find the two consecutive integers that it's between. So since we've just figured out that this is between 5 and 6, I'm going to come up and I'm going to put my A right here on the number line. And that will help me fill in my riddle. So let's do another one. Let's jump over to N, the square root of 2. I'm just going to switch inks so that we can keep them apart. Now, we need to figure out what two perfect squares 2 is between. Now, 1 squared is going to give us 1. 4 is also a perfect square. 4 is 2 squared. So we know that the square root of 2 has to be in between 1 and 2. So we're going to come over between 1 and 2, and that's when we're going to put our N. And we're going to continue through until each one of these is assigned a spot on the number line. Now, to give you a hint and to give you kind of guidance to help you figure out these squares if you don't have them memorized, is to make a number line. And what I've done is I've just written out so far the first 12 numbers and squared them. So I have 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, etc. And what I'm going to do just above it is write what those squares are. So 1 squared is going to be 1. 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, 5 squared is 25, 6 squared is 36, 7 squared is 49, 8 squared is 64, 9 squared is 81, 10 squared is 100, 11 squared is 121, and 12 squared is 144. And you can keep going out. But what this is going to help us to do is to help us figure out which number those perfect square or those square roots of the ones that aren't perfect squares fall between. So, for example, let me go back one more. Let's look at this one here, the negative square root of 5. Let's focus on the inside first. We're looking for the square root of 5. So, when we look to see which of these that the 5 is going to fall between, 5 is going to fall between 4 and 9. Which means the square root of 5 has to fall in between 2 and 3. Now, it did have that negative in front of it, so we are going to want the number to fall in between -2 and -3. So we're going to put another A right here. And you're going to continue this out, and that will help you solve the riddle as to what is so special about the testing program at the Acme College of Cosmetics. Good luck figuring out the riddle, and good luck with estimating these radicals.